Hey friends! This time I have an interesting Asian action picture for you, set in 17th century Korea. This was a time of strife as the Manchus, under the new King dynasty from China, invaded Korea and took over. Our movie is set just after that invasion. We're talking about War of the Arrows from 2011, also known as Arrow, the Ultimate Weapon. Our story goes like this. One night, our hero and his little sister are being rushed to safety. Their dad, a nobleman and legendary archer, has been falsely accused of treason, and soldiers have come to wipe them all out. The dad gives the kid his bow and arrows and tells him to take the blatting little sister to the relative safety of another province where they can live with the dad's best friend. The kid drags his annoying sister away, while the dad gives his life to fend off the bad guys. But her blatting keeps giving away their position. Stupid kid. After seeing his dad die, our hero and his sister escape. They're taken in by the friend and his family. Flash forward 13 years, and our hero has become proficient in archery. But he's filled with self-doubt. He feels he can never live up to the expectations his dad had for him. And then the foster brother wants to marry his little sister, who went from being a blatty brat and grew up into a cute chick. Our hero isn't happy, but the dead dad's friend is cool with it. Rather than attend the wedding, our hero decides to go out in the woods. Just then, a force of these menacing Manchus have come across the river into Korea and are raiding villages, including this one, killing indiscriminately and basically being all around bad neighbors. The people they don't kill outright are rounded up to be taken back to China to live in slavery. The cute chicks, including the sister, are to be used for other purposes. Meanwhile, our hero runs into a squad of Manchus, and when they attack, he makes sure they get the point of his arrows. When he returns to the village and finds out they took his sister, he sets out to rescue her. He is determined to get her back, if he has to turn every Manchu that gets in his way into a pincushion, which is pretty much what he does. Now this Manchu general, also an archer, starts to notice a bunch of his men are getting killed via archery, and sees a pattern. Despite the fact that the Manchus believe the Koreans aren't any good with weapons, it dawns on him that this is all the work of one guy. So he takes a squad of elite soldiers to find and kill our hero, and put a stop to his archery antics. This leads to a running chase over the course of the last third or so of the movie. Eventually, it all comes down to our hero and this general squaring off for the old Dukaroo, mano a mano, or mano a Manchu. One thing I really enjoyed about this movie is that, like the Sword Identity, which I reviewed earlier, this movie lets us see a given weapon of its time. In that case, it was a sword, and in this case, bow and arrows, showing us the form and function of the weapons and what made them special. In fact, besides the trick shots you'd expect to see, they show one type of Manchu arrow with a heavier head, which has a devastating result upon impact. And I don't know if you could really curve an arrow around an object in order to hit a target in real life, but they made that look plausible here, as our hero is an expert who does nothing but obsessively practices archery. The movie moves along at a good pace, too, and there's some fine photography to highlight the arrow action. and some good acting to carry the story through. There are a few obvious CGI elements, but nothing too objectionable. One cool thing is that the Manchu characters actually speak their lines in Manchu, once common language, rarely used today. I'm giving War of the Arrows 3 paws up. It really is something special, definitely worth a watch, and has enough arrow-based action and Manchu menace to keep the viewer engaged all the way through. You can see my review of The Sword Identity here. And down there, you can see some reviews of anime movies. You take care, and I'll see you in the next one.